to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
I'm Sean. How are you?
Okay. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah?
Feel a bit tight.
Yeah, why?
I don't know. We have our cats though. This is fun. Our cats are grooming each other.
Yeah, these are the ones that usually fight.
They love each other.
I know they do.
Yeah. But what's been going on? I guess it's really the only thing to talk about.
We went to see Eternals.
Is the deal? Yeah, we went to go see Eternals. Because normally I feel like we do episodes about just the movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you guys out there don't like them, or you don't like us just doing episodes on the movies. You guys want us to do just episodes on comics as well, because that's kind of what our show's supposed to be. So I think we'll follow through with that, because I'll be honest, like Eternals was fine.
It was fine.
But it wasn't something that I feel like, at least for me, doesn't have a lot of analysis. It doesn't deserve a lot of analysis, because it's just a big bloated movie.
It's really bloated. It's weird.
That doesn't. I'm cool that it's weird.
No, I'm cool that it's weird too, but it's like not weird in a fun way. Does that make sense?
That's fair.
Yeah. It's trying to do a lot.
Well, definitely. I mean, it's certainly. Was it a 3-hour movie? I don't know.
It felt like it.
It certainly felt like it.
It certainly felt like it. I mean, again, I thought it was fine. I know a lot of people are like, it's the worst Marvel movie. I still think Thor: The Dark World is the worst Marvel movie.
I will say this, that Thor: The Dark World is pretty bad.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I haven't seen it since it came out.
Mm-hmm,
Granted, I haven't seen a lot of these movies since they came out.
Yeah, I seen them once and then I never watched them again.
Yeah. I feel like Thor: The Dark World, though, came out at a weird time for me in life.
Okay.
So I think was I sick around then?
When did it come out?
I want to say 2013. So maybe I was just like, it was a thing where we were trying to figure out like
what was wrong,
or if something was wrong, but we wanted to go see the movie, and you couldn't. It was really because I was going to be in treatment. So it was kind of a...
Is it the one where, like, when we went to see it beforehand, there was, like, a big advertisement for some TV show about people having cancer?
No, there's a whole bunch of those.
But that was, like, right at the time when you got sick. Because there was the one about, I remember, all pretty much losing my shit, like, almost crying in the theater.
Was it the one where they're all in the hospital? The Red Band Society or whatever?
I think this was just a TV show.
Well, there was another TV show where it was like a girl that's like, I've got cancer.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That one was really upsetting. I was like, what is this?
Were you looking up Thor?
No.
Oh, I thought you were going to help me.
No, I'm not going to look it up. I don't care when it came out. I remember not liking it.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of stupid. But again, only saw it that one time. So I would rather watch Eternals again than Thor. Again.
2013.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, November 2013. Great.
Again, I mean, it was a perfectly cromulent movie. It was way too long. The characters made decisions that I didn't understand.
Yeah, that was something
especially
happening.
In the third act, I was like, but why?
Yeah.
Like, there was like a lot of, but why did you do, like, I get what you're trying to do, but and people are like, well, it's not a Marvel, you can't say it's not a Marvel movie. I'm like, yeah, but Marvel movies at this point have expectations built around them.
Who was the argument that it's not a Marvel movie?
Well, people are saying, like, that this isn't a Marvel movie, and, like, if you complain about that, then you're part of the problem. Because, just spoiler, Kingo walking away in the end and just disappearing for the whole third act and not coming back, by the way.
With no explanation as to why he's not there.
Yeah, I mean, there's an explanation because he's just like, I'm going to live my values, but I'm not going to be violent about it. And you're like, okay, I understand where you're coming from.
But you're part of this team. Like, they need you.
But see, here's the thing. That's the expectation of the Marvel movie. Of all of these movies, of DC at the same time, of comic books in general, so you have your big fight against your big bad. Everybody shows up to do it. You don't get to walk away.
Uh-huh.
So I understand what you're saying, like, philosophically, right? Like, philosophically, it's like, yes, I agree with this thing, but I'm not going to hurt anybody in order to, the means the ends won't justify the means to me, so I'm not going to like fight you. I'm just going to walk away and like let this thing happen. Like, I get what you're saying philosophically, and yes, that makes a lot of sense, like in a real world, like, but it doesn't make sense for a superhero movie in general.
Right.
Because these characters are heroes and they always have to come like save the day and stand with their teams and fight.
What's
you know
the
what
point
I mean?
of even having him if he's not even going to do anything?
Right. So again, I understand what we're saying if we're talking philosophically different kind of movie, but this is a superhero movie and there are certain conventions one must meet in order to fulfill superhero movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you're trying to set it up as like this big like team thing where we're going to save the world, blah, 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 blah. You're not setting it up as like, you know, the Suicide Squad where everybody's getting killed.
Right.
You know, you have a different expectation of this specific team. I think that was, for me, I'm just like, I don't understand why he walked away. I don't understand why he didn't come back. I also don't understand how, if Icarus and Sprite weren't wearing the bracelets, how they got pulled into the Unimind or whatever the fuck that thing was supposed to be. Because shouldn't Kingo also have been pulled into that?
Yeah.
No matter where he was.
So real quick,
did he?
hopefully you guys have realized, but we should.
I said spoiler.
You did say spoilers?
I sure did.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so for me, I was just like, okay. And then I think the other thing that kind of threw me is because we had read that Eternals comic.
Right.
That was literally starts with all of them being regenerated because every time they die, they just get regenerated. These big emotional things of all of these people dying didn't hit me at all because I'm just like, all right, well, they're coming back in like 10 minutes, right?
It's like, and they're here. And they're here. It didn't
and then they didn't come back. So for me, I didn't even get that like big, like I can feel for these characters as they're going on their journey. Like I'm so sad for Cersei because her mentor is dead type of thing.
Yeah.
I literally didn't feel any of that because I'm like, well, she's going to be back in like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point.
Why is everybody crying? That it didn't happen. And I was like, oh, I missed a big emotional beat because I was expecting something different.
Also, there's just like shit like with Angelina Jolie have it going crazy, and they were making it. It's like, well, I didn't understand. Maybe I just wasn't because everything is moving so fast, but moving so slowly.
Yeah,
and like it didn't make sense to me why she was the one that was affected by going crazy.
And
but
why
the
the
other
rest
ones weren't.
Yeah,
you know, even though they've all been around the same time.
Yeah, I mean it's the same.
Presumably.
Well, I mean it's the same thing. Like people process trauma differently, so
that's true.
So you know, it could have been that, but I think personal opinion, not enough Gilgamesh in this movie. I really enjoyed him as a character.
Yeah,
I would watch like a whole show about him making a pie.
Yeah, I was
like, I was really sad about his pie.
I know. I was worried because he was holding the pie vertically, and I was worried, and I got sad.
I know
because the pie fell apart.
It did.
That's a waste of. I'm not a big berry guy, but I'm sure it was delicious.
I'm sure it was great. I'm sad about his pie. He had to go on vacation. I also didn't understand why the choice of the bad guy was Icarus and not Druig, because Druig was a huge asshole.
Just his haircut alone should have qualified him.
It did.
For the villainy.
This man had been enslaving humanity for thousands of years. Mm-hmm. And somehow he's not the bad guy.
Right. Yeah, he's... and also,
what?
Too, they're making this big deal about, like, okay, so, like, you're going to be able to, like, at one... Druig, you and your tiny body... are going to be able to mind control this epically gigantic celestial.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna need you to do that. Yeah. And I was like, "There's no way that's gonna happen."
Well, no. Then he's like, "Well, that's why we need the Unimind or mind."
Well, I guess the way to kind of enhance their powers, but that's still. I still don't buy it.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird. And then I think the other thing that was a little bit odd, and this got pointed out to me.
We're kind of hodgepodging all over the place with this movie.
Yeah, because we're not going to give you like a step-by-step. But what was pointed out to me when we were watching, what was that like? What's that thing called where he does like the movie pitch meetings?
Screen rant? Yeah.
Because, they don't help. Their whole point is like they don't interfere with humans unless they're like fighting the deviants, right?
Right.
When they're like, oh, but you came down here and you're literally just handing humanity technology. That's interfering with humanity.
You're there, literally, that's
Like,
the whole reason why you're there, is
yes.
to interfere with humanity.
So that's interfering with humanity, but you're not going to stop the wars that as we see when, oh God, what was his name?
Fastos.
Fastos is literally crying in the fucking ruins of Hiroshima, that he helped get to the point where we're dropping nukes on each other.
I didn't think we were going to actually do it.
And it's kind of like, but you interfered there by giving us this technology. You wanted to give us a steam engine, and then you're like, oh, wait, no, I'll just give them a plow instead. You're interfering with humanity. So again, all right, fine. And then the other part that they pointed out was like, well, if you need a certain population density for this celestial to be born, why weren't you trying to stop Thanos?
You think?
Good point, especially because Thanos didn't only take out half the population of Earth. He took out half the population of the entire universe.
Meaning that all the other Eternals on the other planets got screwed too.
Yeah, waiting for their celestials to be born because they have to get to a certain population density too.
I'm disappointed that...
So it's like, yeah, okay, I get it. Like, I understand they weren't introduced yet, but still.
Do you think at one point they might have pitched an option where instead of the Celestials being born out of the Earth, there's going to be like a baby Celestial like Grogu, you know?
Oh, a baby Celestial. That could have been
just a little
terrifyingly adorable.
Just a little robot head, be like, ah!
With like those like weird, like hole.
Weird spike. They have spikes and holes.
You know what those holes look like? It's like an inverse Lego. You know when you get the Lego, it's like a little, it's like the bottom of a Lego.
Yeah. Basically Lego heads.
That would have been cute. A little baby Lego.
Little baby Lego man. We call this a celestial Lego. Lego my ego.
I also want to know what they're gonna do with that celestial. Is that like frozen?
Well, also too. Okay,
frozen something. I don't.
The celestial. All that popped up.
Yeah.
Was
his head.
His head and like the palm of almost like the palm of his hand and his fingers.
Yeah.
And that was like a big chunk of the Indian Ocean.
Yeah.
Where this was happening.
Yeah.
So if he would have been fully born,
well, it would have destroyed Earth.
It would destroy the Earth. But where's the rest of his body?
In the Earth.
Right. But I mean, like, isn't that like fucking things up? Because like there's no like real like our core, like the Celestials just taking a shit on his core, like just waiting to be born.
I mean, I'm assuming it's like a baby when you're just kind of like all in a fetal position.
But like,
and then you.
That's kind of mess stuff. Like it's.
I mean, that's
the mass of the Celestial alone should mess up the orbit of the Earth.
Oh yeah, no, you're absolutely right about that. Like it should totally fuck things up. Should have probably like ruined the core and the tectonic plates and all that sort of shit. Yes, but
it totally should be those tectonic plates for crying out loud. You're pushing those things around like it's in a cupboard.
Yeah, it really should be like when women are pregnant and it just moves all of your organs into places they shouldn't be.
Moving organs
and then ripping you apart horrifically as you birth them.
Yep.
That's why we don't have kids. Anyway. So yeah, and then
that's why I never gave birth to a Celestial.
Yeah, that's why I never gave birth to anything. Yeah. So there was that, and then I guess we had the mid-credit sequence, which didn't work for me, just because. All right. So I'm sure if you've seen it, again, this is spoilers. Star Fox shows up. Now I am certain Star Fox has been retconned and changed and whatever, but the only experience I have with Star Fox is the comic we read here on this show in which She-Hulk is trying to defend him because dude's a rapist. And I was like, wait a second, what is even happening? This man is a rapist.
He uses powers to make women subservient to him.
Yeah, they had no consent because he used his powers to make them say yes.
And now he's played by Harry Styles in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah. Again, I'm certain he's actually been retconned like a billion times since that book. But I was just like, rapist, huh? So that was kind of interesting. And then, of course, we have Pip the Troll, Patton Oswalt voicing a terrifying CGI monster.
You look like a jib jab.
I honestly
Look like a Flash cartoon from 2000.
Well, when he first shows up on that ship, and I was telling Sean this, like he like pops into existence and just falls. Like that's how you see him 1st. You just see him falling.
I thought he was like a normal size.
Well, no, I just saw him fall, and I was like, "Wow, they didn't finish that scene because the CGI was so bad." We were watching. I was like, "Oh, that looks awful." Like up until now, everything's been fine. Like I didn't really have a problem with any of the CGI, and then we get Pip the Troll, and I'm like, "Oh my god, they like sent this out without finishing it." Like, no, I haven't even read about. And then he just pops back up, and I'm like, "Oh no, that's just how it looks." It looks horrible.
Yeah.
And terrifying. But here he is, Pip the Troll.
I want to imagine that Patton Oswalt who had to wear all that shit, like all those little balls. But he also had to like do it on his knees and be like, "I'm Pip the Troll."
Even like Sean Gunn just like sitting around in like those suits when he's trying to be Rocket.
Yeah, just him wearing those balls. You know. Or whatever, you know, or I'm certain they probably got like a little person to be that, and then they just superimposed
maybe
a facsimile of Patton Oswalt's face.
You know, maybe they really did have Patton wear those things.
I hope they did.
You know.
I hope they did. I hope Patton Oswalt talks about it in his stand-up when we get to see him.
I hope so too. That'd be really funny. But I was just like, "Oh, hey, welcome to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Patton Oswalt."
Well, that's where he belongs. I mean, he's kind of a fan like him, a person that's just.
Of course, it's like Brian Posehn in Star Wars. Like, yeah.
How Brian Posehn isn't in the Marvel MCU himself, like playing like.
Oh, don't you think he should be? He should have been like.
He should play like Frankenstein's monster, but the version of it as I covered here on our show.
Well, yeah, or he could play a guy like Steve Agee did.
Who was Steve Agee?
Wasn't he?
He was one of the goons. I think.
Well, he was a goon, and then wasn't he also sitting at the control panel?
Well, that was in.
That's in
Suicide Squad. Yeah,
but he was a goon too. In like Guardians.
Yeah, that's true. No, he was. Yeah, Brian Posehn could have been a goon.
I'm like, Brian Posehn could be like one of those goons.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so I was just like, okay, I'm done with this movie now. So we left before.
It wasn't even the thing, but as soon as you saw him show up, you go, "That's it, we're leaving." And I was like, "But what if there's more?"
You could have stayed. I would have waited outside for you. I was like, "All right, I'm done." And I just got
the
up
other
and
thing is,
walked.
I'm tired of waiting.
I just got up and walked. I was like, I'm done.
I'm tired of waiting for these scenes.
Just see him on the internet. For fuck's sake.
Why do I have to? Can't I just go see a movie and wait for it when it's done? It's done.
You'd think.
I'm over this.
You'd fucking think at this point.
Because they're at the very end. That happened to us when we go see I think it was Iron Man.
Well, that's because that was the very first after credit scene. Nobody knew it was supposed to be there, so we just got up and left like everybody else.
Like, fuck it.
Now they've trained you to sit there for however fucking long it takes.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And so I was just like, I'm done. And so we walked out before we could see the Kit Harington as Black Knight scene.
Yeah.
I have no familiarity with
Which
Black
apparently
Knight.
also features Blade. The vampire hunter Blade talking to him, being like, "Yo,
I mean, do they hang
Slicey."
out?
No, I don't think they do. I don't recall them ever hanging out. I mean, maybe
Are they
there's
gonna start hanging out?
I guess so. Maybe they're gonna meet each other and be like, "Hey, this is our first meeting. This is pretty cool."
Doesn't Pip the Troll like usually hang out with Adam Warlock?
Yes. That's why I was very disappointed to see Harry Styles as Star Fox. Even though I'm not entirely upset about Star Fox. Because he does fit in.
Of course he does.
To this whole thing with Thanos and Titan and all those things. I mean, the Eternals, like it makes sense.
Of course it does. And again, I'm certain he has been retconned a billion times, but that is the only experience I have with this character.
Instead, it's gonna be like the Lego movie, Lego cartoons, where instead of him making ladies want to have sex, he just makes them want to have ice cream.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
So like he makes them think, it's like, oh, I'm gonna make you think about ice cream. It's like, oh, ice cream! I can't wait to have ice cream.
Yeah, still terrifying.
Yeah.
But I guess he's Black Knight.
Well, because he introduced
something.
the blade. They have his blade. Like, there's a scene where like they're in the turtle ship, and like, what's her face? Angelina Jolie's like, "Hey, look at this cool sword that might play into something later," you know. And so she's got the ebony blade, and then she's and then that
No,
shows,
she had Excalibur, but they asked her if it was the ebony blade, and she said no.
Oh, okay. She's like, "Oh no, it's not going to be the thing later."
Yeah, it's the thing later.
You guys wait.
So, am I to believe that what's her name,
Makari, yes.
just hung out in the ship, and after it was like,
But she was fast. She could leave whenever she wants. That's how she got the Funyuns and stuff, because they were walking on like
oh, that's
bags
right.
of food and like.
But it was buried. So did she just like run, like have a tunnel that she just ran out of?
Maybe.
I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. So I don't know if I'd want to like hang out in a ship. I'm sure I could find something to do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she's. I think she's just burrowing through the ship or whatever, and getting snacks.
Yeah. Well, at least she had snacks.
Yeah. Also, going back to like Kumail, I was kind of disappointed in his powers.
I was disappointed in a couple of their powers.
Yeah, because I thought that Kumail would have, or at least they would all have kind
hoping.
of something like devastating because they have cosmic powers shooting through them.
Yeah.
And like all his is like he just does like the finger guns.
It kind of, I mean, Gilgamesh had kind of a cool
He's
power.
a Cuphead. He's a Cuphead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But like Gilgamesh had kind of a cool power. Like he's got like a big old, like, you know.
He gets like cosmic gauntlets.
Right. And he can like, has some serious power, find his punching. I'm like, okay, cool. But I kind of feel like a lot of the other ones, like Sprite, what is her power? There's like
She
a
makes
bunch
illusions.
of her. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Cersei, that's like, I'm like, how did you fight these things?
You can't just go and like, I mean, because at one point she touches one and she turns it into a tree, like a metal tree.
Yeah, but that was like the first time she figured out she could do that.
Right.
I'm just like, you went fucking almost 8,000 years without knowing you could do that?
Yeah, right.
I'm like, I'm hoping you would figure that out when you were literally actively fighting these things like every day, because basically you can't do anything against them.
Right. Yeah, it did. Yeah, her power is just basically, at one point she turns like a rock that's thrown at her by, I think, Icarus into like a bunch of birds.
Yes.
Which I thought I was like, what is this, like a stained video?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, this is ridiculous. And she turns something else into a bunch of flower petals.
Yeah, and some sand and I'm like, I mean, I guess, but and I guess that's their. I don't know what their powers are in the comics. So
Well, that's usually Cersei's power in the comics, but she's kind of more of like at least the way that she's portrayed, she's more of like a Wonder Woman. Like she can like fly around and she can, she's probably got like super strength and stuff.
Yeah, it kind of didn't seem like that in this.
No,
all.
she can't. No, I think none of them could fly except for Icarus.
Right.
And all the rest of them are just like, oh, we can't fly. So
It was kind of like,
We need a
and
big
I'm
ship.
sure they
We
were
need
just
our
like,
big-
they can't all have these amazing powers, and maybe they all do in the comics with like lean towards something specific, but they can all fly
makes
or
them
they all
flood.
have whatever. But it's kind of like if you were gonna write a DC comic book and it was like, so basically CD level DC superheroes on a team with Superman. That's basically what this was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, basically it's like Justice League America from like 1998
And then Superman shows up every once in a
or
while.
97 or whatever. Yeah.
Because I'm just like, oh, so you're Superman. You're Superman. Your power is Superman. It was weird that they fucking called him Clark.
Oh. Let's talk about that.
I was like, wait.
So there's a
So
scene.
what does this mean for how these two universes
Okay, well,
interact?
we have to explain.
Yeah.
So there's a scene. So Fastos is off living in like Chicago with his husband, and they got a kid.
And their kid.
And the Eternals show up, and they're like, "Yo, Fastos, you want to like help us?" And
Yeah.
Fastos is like kind of like, humanity ain't worth saving, but
And Fastos is correct.
and yeah, right. And but he's like, but I got a kid and I got a husband, so I'm cool.
yeah.
Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
And then the kid is just like, oh yeah, I saw this one on Icarus on TV or whatever, and he had, he was shooting beams out of his eyes. He had a
He
cape.
called him Superman.
He called him. Did he call him Superman?
He called him Superman. He goes, "Oh, Dad, it's Superman."
Right.
Yeah.
And then Superman, and then he's like, I don't wear a cape or whatever. And
Yeah.
then I think then they're walking in, and I think Fastos says, like, I guess we should call you Clark.
Yeah. He goes, should I call you Clark? And he goes, oh, you've called me worse. And I was just like, okay, so hold up just a fucking second. So what does this mean? Right? Like, I get it. We're just having a joke and we're referencing the fact that this guy has a lot of powers like Superman, blah, blah, blah. I understand. But this is in this movie now. So does this mean that Superman is a fictional character in the Marvel universe? Is that how that works?
Is it a certain Earth that we're dealing with here? Because
hasn't that been, I don't know if it's ever been established or hinted at. I mean, somebody who knows a lot more about this shit than me, because I feel like I've read this before, but I don't remember where or when. But it's like somehow established that Marvel sees DC as just like another universe that exists.
It kind of
it's like an alternate dimension,
right?
So there's another dimension where DC exists as DC does today. Mm-hmm. But then you're also telling me that in Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I'm assuming is on 616, DC is fictional. Mm-hmm. Yeah?
I guess it's just a big hearty fart.
Yeah, I'm so confused. I was just like, what does that mean?
Like, is what's his face going to show up? Henry Cavill going to show up? And be like, "Hi, I'm better than Icarus. You can leave Icarus."
Well, I mean, if Henry Cavill flew himself into the sun, he'd probably survive.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Aha!"
Icarus didn't, but you know what? Superman probably would. Let's be honest. I think he has before. Hasn't he gone into the sun to like regenerate?
That's what Superman fucking does, is just fly into the sun.
He's basically a sentient plant.
Yeah.
He takes all of his energy from the sun, so if he flies into it, it's like going to a spa.
Yeah, didn't that happen
It's happened.
Did it happen like in
It's definitely happened before.
It's definitely happened before. I'm trying to think of where it's happened, but I feel like it's definitely happened before.
Yeah, where he's just like gone in the sun.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, he's in the sun.
Okay, it makes me think of that part in the I'm the Boss song.
Uh-huh.
Or like a boss.
Uh-huh.
Where he's like something about like, Bob, the Russians fought into the sun. Now I'm dead. Or whatever the hell.
Yeah. So you cut your balls off and die.
He also says about sucking a dude's dick. No,
because at first he goes, so you cut your balls off and die. Every night's like, no doubt.
Yeah.
He's like, also something about sucking a dude's dick. Nah.
I thought you said, nah, not me, man. Nah, man.
Nope.
I wish that existed in the Marvel universe. The like a boss.
Sure, I'm assuming it must at this point.
I'm just trying to think of something more, something entertaining to talk about other than the Eternals.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a movie. It existed. I think I would have rather seen Dune. I would have rather seen.
Oh, Last Night in Soho.
Last Night in Soho for sure.
We need to see that. We need to go make sure we get.
I want to make sure I see both of those things. I mean, Dune, I feel like is going to be in the theater longer than Last Night in Soho.
Well, we need to get out and see that then.
Maybe we'll go tomorrow.
Well, maybe, yeah. But yeah, Eternals. See it if you want.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's kind of our review.
Yeah.
So
I did not actively hate it. I also did not. Again, it's one of those things that I'm probably going to forget about. Like, that I'm just be like,
which is ridiculous because a movie of that epic nature, it should not be something you should just be like, I guess I'm just going to forget about it. Well, but they've trained us to do that.
I think that's the thing with these. I mean, like, you spend so much fucking money on these movies. And I walk out of the theater and go, and literally just forget about it like 25 minutes later. And then, like, never watch it again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, was that actually worth it?
Yeah, I don't know.
At the end of the day.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's all we got for that. I'm trying to think of anything else was going on. We did take a trip to Boulder, Colorado.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did.
Stopped at a few stores. Didn't really find anything.
No, didn't find anything. We were supposed to go see
Kyle Kinane,
but unfortunately he had to cancel because he had to have his appendix out, so I hope he's doing well.
Yeah.
Seems to be. So yeah, ended up in Boulder and it was nice.
Good.
We don't really go up there that much, so
we'll just catch him when he reschedules for January. But anyways, let's take a quick break and we'll come back with our book for this week.
Hi, everybody. My name's Hub, and I host a show called Tighten Up the Defense, a podcast that would likely benefit from a tagline. Every week, we read either a Defenders comic book from the 70s or a New Teen Titans comic from the 80s. I give a synopsis of that comic that I have handcrafted to amuse and inform, and then my good for many things brother Corey comes over and we talk about what we found interesting about the comic we just read. It's a lot of fun, and we hope you'll join us for it. Anything you'd like to add, Corey?
I like cocaine from an animal's butthole. It is. So good. It is. Paradise.
Well, Corey, I don't really think that's appropriate. We're trying to do a promotion for our podcast here.
Shut up.
Okay, fair enough. Any final thoughts?
Of course.
Well, let's hear them.
I have eaten all the beaver butt. You have eaten none. And beaver's butt is pretty good.
There you have it. Tighten Up the Defense. That's Titan. You can find it wherever podcasts are found. It's probably worth mentioning. I'm the one who does the editing. Catch the wave of the future and hang 10 on it with us. Cowabunga.
All right, we're back here in our worst collection ever with our book for this week. It is The Teen Titans, number 46 from February 1977.
So I have a question for you about this.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Did you buy this book or did I buy
You
this
100%
book?
bought those.
God damn it. This is all my fault.
This is something I forgot where you found it. I feel like this
I was
Heidi Ho, maybe. I feel like it would be
probably, but I was reading it and I'm looking at it going, I bought this, didn't I?
100%.
I have nobody to blame but myself for this book.
Yeah.
For us owning this book. But again, this is why we are the worst collection ever, because nobody should own this book.
I guess if you're a completist for the
Sure.
Teen Titans or whatever.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, because this is from the first series. This is from like even before like all the the new Teen Titans stuff and
Yeah.
whatever. So we're just kind
They're
of
really trying to connect with the youth in this fucking book.
bunch of Julia Schwartz and crew are like, let's talk to the youths. We gotta talk to the youths as they chomp on cigars.
What is a ute?
Ute, ute.
So
Look at
okay,
them utes.
Teen Titans book.
Dem utes.
Dem
The
utes.
Teen Titans. On the cover here, we have it's on top. It says Robin, Wonder Girl, Flash or Kid Flash, Speedy, Aqualad, Mal.
I still don't know who the fuck Mal is.
It's Mal Duncan.
Who is he? Like they're all sidekicks. So who's his main kick? What like what do you call them? Like
His mentor.
is that what they are? Mentors? I like main kick.
Main kick.
Who is his guy? Who's his guy?
Well, it's nobody.
He's got no guys.
He's got no guy. He's not that guy. He's just a guy that showed up.
He can't even be on Mark Maron's podcast.
Who are your guys?
He's got no guy.
He's like, man, I don't got no guys. He's like, what are you doing here? Get out.
Get the fuck out of my cat ranch.
So yeah, he's just a dude. I don't know. All I know about Maul is that he's got a horn.
Like a shofar, basically.
What's a shofar?
It's a horn
Okay.
made out of a ram's horn. Like it's and usually it's a Jewish instrument. It's usually played in like there's a whole thing about it. But yeah, it's like a Jewish instrument. Usually it's more ceremonial, I guess.
Okay. Fair.
Called the shofar.
So he's got a shofar. He likes jazz.
Uh-huh.
And at one point he was known as Vox. I think he was a part of the Doom Patrol at one point in the 2000s.
Is he a guy now?
I don't know. I think so. I think he exists, but he's not active.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And he went on to own
On sabbatical.
Yeah, he's just kind of he's had like his powers disappear or whatever, and then he became like a jazz musician.
Does he still have the horn?
I don't think so. I think
That's probably for the best.
yeah. And then he married Bumblebee,
Okay.
the car. No, my wife's the car.
Not the Transformer.
Not the Transformer.
That's too bad.
Yeah, not the Transformer. But
Oh man, babe, maybe somebody will put a curse on me and I'll become a car. then I will be.
what kind of car would you want to be?
I mean, I'd want to be something sexy and sleek. I'd probably end up being a minivan.
The Jen Aerostar.
I'd love to be like a classic car, like a fucking like a Thunderbird or like a Mustang or like some like really sweet looking like Grease Lightning type of car,
Right.
but I would end up being a fucking clunker. I would end up being like one of those vans with like wolves painted on the side, but like badly painted, like a child drew them.
A windowless van.
Yeah, but like a broke down windowless van that somebody lives in by the river.
Okay.
That would be car me.
Jen the River Van.
You'd have to put me up on blocks in the front yard.
Well, if you're a transformer, you could just stand.
Yeah, but wouldn't I be too big to get into the house? And people would have to assume that I was an actual car. So you just throw me on blocks. I'll just hang out there.
Well, just get some tires. I don't know. Go walk over to the junkyard, get some tires at night. And you jump in your transformer.
That's a good idea. I could
'Cause
transform.
Transformers can exist at night. That's the rule.
They're like vampires now.
Yeah, they don't. The people don't think twice when they see a transformer at night. It's like I must be a transformer.
Oh, that's true. You're right. Good points. Good points.
They sneak out to the junkyards and put tires on themselves. That's what this thing's, I believe.
Oh, great. Okay, good.
So, anyways, on the cover here, the Teen Titans are fighting the Fiddler. The fucking Fiddler.
Yep. And you know what the Fiddler is? He's a guy who plays a fiddle.
Mm-hmm.
So he's basically the main character in a Charlie Daniels song.
Yes. he fought Satan, and now he is fighting the Teen Titans.
You're familiar with that song?
Oh yeah,
I'm
the Devil
certain.
Down in Georgia, of course.
Of course, everybody is. I always felt, because Charlie Daniels says the band of demons joined in with the devil,
Uh-huh.
and it always sounded way cooler and like way better than what's his fucking face, Johnny. Well, because that's the guy he's in the song. His name's Johnny.
Okay.
And Johnny plays his fiddle, and he goes down to Jordan, and the devil pops out, and he goes, "You play really good. I'll bet you a fiddle of gold, but if you lose, you have to give me your soul. So I'm gonna go ahead and go." And the guy, I'm gonna go first, me, the devil. And Johnny goes, "Okay." And so the devil's like, "Also, I have this sweet band of demons who will play with me, and they've got like bass and shit, like dun 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 do 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 do. Like it's way better than like what Johnny does." I personally feel that the devil won.
Well, yeah, because he's got a sweet band of demons.
Exactly.
He's got
fucking
Emperor.
He's got
fucking
He's got bass
mayhem.
and all fucking Johnny has this stupid fiddle. So
Yeah, I know. That actually doing great. It's like because the song would be really short. It's like then the devil won.
but then you don't get to call the devil a son of a bitch. Yeah, see, because I could probably recite that entire song.
I don't think I'm familiar with the song, but I'm not like it's not a thing like
I could literally almost recite it word for word right now.
That's interesting.
Uh-huh.
That's what your car would play when you're driving.
My dad used to have Charlie Daniels on tape,
Oh, well,
so we listened to it a lot.
a lot of Charlie Daniels and America and the band America.
Oh, and the band America. Can I tell you how much my dad loved the band America and Fleetwood Mac?
Fleetwood Mac's okay.
I like Fleetwood Mac. I still like Fleetwood Mac to this day. Yes, but so my dad would rock out to some Charlie Daniels.
I always enjoy the story about your dad and you driving, and you the Metallica's Whiskey in a Jar came on, and your dad was offended because he didn't like their version of it.
Yeah, he said they ruined the song. Yes. Uh-huh.
I don't know. I like that song.
I
that
do
version.
too. I like that version too. But my dad was very upset. He said they had ruined the version.
Oh, that's too
had
bad.
ruined that song.
Too bad.
Yep. Anyway.
Anyways, Teen Titans, the Fiddler's playing, and he's got piss coming out of his fiddle, looks like. I don't know. And he's causing the Teen Titans to fight each other, which really
Sure.
doesn't happen in the book.
No, it does not.
Because he's like, haha, hearken to the Fiddler's music, Titans, as it compels you to kill each other.
But
And you got
doesn't.
you got Speedy shooting an arrow. Looks like he's about to shoot. He is shooting an arrow at Kid Flash, and then Donna Troy is karate chopping Dick in the neck. which
It's very
which
funny.
would probably kill him
I assume, yes, he would
because
die.
Donna Troy's super strong.
And Dick's just a guy.
Dick's just a boy.
Yeah.
And he should, this should pretty much be it for him. But that's what's going on the cover here. And then we start here. I actually took notes again, babe.
Oh, I'm so proud.
I did put, I did Donna karate chopping Dick on the cover.
Uh-huh.
And so it asks right away because we got the another splash page of the Titans on this fiddle. Well,
Yes.
the Fiddler's playing a fiddle on a fiddle.
Yes. And so we also have these two bands, groups. It was Peter McCarthy and the somethings.
Peter McCarthy and the Communists.
Yeah, Peter McCarthy and the Communists.
Peter McCarthy and the Flyers, excuse me.
And then the Woodworkers,
Uh-huh.
I think is the other one. And so to keep that in mind because they'll come into play later. But like, I guess we're at a concert.
Well, do you get the joke?
Yeah, the Carpenters.
Okay.
And then Peter McCarthy would be like, I don't know who that's
Paul
supposed to
McCartney
be.
and Wings.
Oh, I just thought they were called Wings. I didn't realize they were Paul McCartney.
Well, I
and
guess in
Wings.
this case, because it's Peter and Laura McCartney.
Yeah, okay, I get
McCarthy,
it.
and they're
I get
like,
it.
it's Paul. And, they.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't get it because to me, Wings has always just been Wings. I didn't
Yeah,
realize.
I
you
don't know why
were
they just call
calling
them the
out.
Flyers, but
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I got that.
It's
I-
Wing. It's Peter and Paul or
Yeah.
whatever. You get it.
I also, this is what I mean by we're trying to get in real good with the kids by pulling all this like these bands are popular shit type of stuff.
Well, I like there's this paragraph here where they're like, "Who's your favorite singing combo? The Captain and Tennille, Donnie and Marie Osmond,
Man, they had so many of those back then. didn't
Tony
they?
Orlando and Dawn."
They really did have those like a lot of these male female singing duos back then,
yeah.
didn't they?
Oh yeah.
Like they don't have those anymore.
I guess not.
We
I
don't
mean,
have those.
No, they're just either just duos or they're band. Maybe they're. I don't know. Yeah, I can't really.
I can't think of one. I mean, there might be one out there, but I can't think of them.
At least not one that's hip enough for us.
Yes, us, the cool people.
There's probably like some really good singer-songwriter duos that are doing this stuff that the kids love, and we're just like, hey,
sure-
I like new metal.
I'm sure if I wasn't afraid of TikTok, I'd probably know who they were. But honestly,
You're not afraid of TikTok. You're on TikTok all the time.
I'm not on TikTok at all, actually. No, I'm not afraid of TikTok. To me, TikTok is just one more thing I have to learn, and I don't have the energy.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not.
Twitter, yes. Twitter, I'm on all the time. Instagram, I'm on all the time. But no, I don't have the energy to figure out TikTok. I'm sure I probably should.
I guess I'm just giving up.
That's where I am. I'm like, you know what? I'm old now. I don't have to, right?
Yeah. So we start off. This is where we're at the theater, the Coliseum, and it's supposed to be a battle of the bands.
Yes.
Between the Woodworkers and Peter and McCarthy and the Flyers.
Yes.
And they're which the idea, as we come to find out, because it kind of it's spread out throughout this book, but the idea is that the Peter McCarthy and the Flyers will go on first.
Well, this is what the promoter tells them.
Yeah.
But he tells them both groups, because neither group wants to play with the other.
Right, because there's like, hey, man, we don't want to play with them squares.
Right, because the Woodworkers are like clean-cut Christian kids, basically, and Peter McCarthy and the Flyers are, basically like hippies.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, we can't be on the same bill with them because we don't want to be with the squares, or we can't be on the same bill with them because they're like hedonistic, fuckballs. And they're like, well, here's the deal. You guys, they'll go on first, you guys will go on last, and, they'll be done before you even get in the stadium.
Right.
But that's what he tells both of them. So
That's what he tells both of
because
them.
he's just the promoter's fucking with them, basically.
But they're doing this battle of the bands, which I've always wondered, like, if somebody battle of the bands, basically, y'all know what those are.
Yeah.
But I've always wondered if it's
Ever
a true.
been to a battle of the bands?
I've been to plenty.
I've never been.
Yeah, I've been to plenty. A lot of bad ones.
Well, yeah, I mean, Yeah.
A lot of bad ones with like teenagers trying to figure it out. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. But I always thought the true battle of bands would be like two bands playing at the same time, and whoever's finished first wins.
Okay. So basically, whoever plays speed metal wins.
Yeah, whoever plays their songs the fastest or the loudest or whatever. I don't know. Just somehow you could create this chaos like using a decibel meter.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're louder, they win. Whatever, and they get a fucking $200 towards Guitar Center or whatever the fuck it is that you used to win.
$10 bar tab.
$10 bar tab.
Like we won.
It's worth it. But
Dracula figure.
Yeah, so that's what's supposed to happen. But we go inside and the Fiddler's there playing atop of his Fiddler car.
Yeah, see, I kind of do miss this about these old comic books when all these like villains had cars, planes, boats, whatever, shaped like whatever their gimmick is. So yeah, he has a car that is shaped like a fiddle. Kind of great. Let's not be honest. Let's be honest. That's kind of fucking cool. And apparently he is from Earth 1. Is that correct?
No, he says Earth 2.
Oh, he's from Earth 2. Okay.
So he's from Earth 2, and I guess
he was like bored, so he fiddled his way out.
Yeah, because you had a fiasco, he describes, with the Injustice Society.
It's because he played a fucking fiddle.
Because he sucks.
Yeah.
Because if he's a fiddler, and he's got a stupid car, and they're like, haha, look at your stupid car.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm whoever's in the Injustice Society, Ultraman.
Sure.
Or I'm thinking about the Injustice Gang. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how it works.
But whatever, they farted on his car, and he's like, don't fart on my car. And he's like,
He's
get
like,
out of here.
I'll go fuck with people in other worlds.
He's like, yeah, well, I'm going to go to other worlds. You'll see.
I'll show you.
Well, how are they going to know? That's in another world. If he does well, what if he becomes like the the Mussolini of Earth?
Do you think Charlie Daniels read this comic book? I mean, this is assuming Charlie Daniels read this comic. He's a huge racist right now. He's a huge fucking racist.
He's still alive, right?
Yeah, and he's a big old fucking racist right now. But do you think he read this comic book and he was like, "Oh, say, I have an idea," and then he was
time to rip off some DC comics.
Yeah, and then he was like, "Devil went down to Georgia," and then he started like writing a song.
It's like the Fiddler went to Earth 2. It's like instead of the Fiddler, it could be the devil.
Yeah.
Instead of Earth 2 be Georgia. Man, I'm a genius.
Oh, fuck, I'm so good.
I'm Charlie Daniels.
I actually do not have any idea when that song came out. So
actually, that'd be a quick question because I feel like that song came out in the late 70s, so around this time.
Let me look.
But the Fiddler's been around for way longer than that, I think.
Oh, I know.
The Fiddler's been around I think he's like a Jay Garrick villain, for crying out loud. That's how old he is. But yeah, but he's in there standing on top of his car, and
1979.
Oh, so he ripped it off.
He sure did.
He ripped this off.
Yep.
He is an unoriginal cunt.
He saw this book and he went, "I have an idea," and he wrote a song, and he made $1 billion.
He owes whoever here, Bob Rozakis, some change here. But yeah, so okay, he's in on his car, and inside the band, because they're getting ready for this concert, they're smashing their instruments.
Yeah,
and they start smashing, and then out of nowhere, this is where Mal and Speedy show up.
Yeah. And so apparently like the deal with Mal is he's got this horn thing, and I guess the Grim Reaper gave it to him, and like if he
I read about it, and
if he loses it, well, the Grim Reaper is in here, and he's the Spectre of Death, or he looks like the Grim Reaper, whatever. Yeah. And he says if you lose one battle, you die. So that's
she's like, well, I better blow this horn real good.
Right. And then Speedy's like, oh, I'll help you by using my sonic shriek arrow or whatever.
They have these sound effects, and it's like every time
Mal's just like honk. It sounds like a goose. It's like a goose. It's like honk.
It says Tiki-yor.
That's right.
Tiki-yor.
Sure, whatever.
And yeah, so what's his face shoots off his arrows, and it stops everybody from doing this damage. But then the Fiddler's like, all right, well now you all fucking dance, and then everybody starts dancing, and they charge over to Mal and Speedy, and Speedy's like, fuck, I'm gonna gas him to death. Let's see if that works. But apparently it doesn't, because then they get stomped. And that's that.
And that's that. So then we cut to like Donna and Aqualad. Robin shows up, and then I forget if somebody else is there.
What's Aqualad? It's Donna, Wally, and Aqualad.
Wally, that's it. And they're like just basically hanging out, talking about like where their new headquarters should be.
Right. They're talking to like there should be like they want like either a skyscraper or
Island,
Aqualad's
maybe.
like, I like water. Could we have it undersea?
Shut up, Aqualad. Nobody wants to talk to you.
And everybody's like, no, fuck it. And but then they have this thing where off screen Batman or Robin's like, you know what? I'm gonna make the pitch because my main kick is Bruce Wayne, which they point out in the little box here.
Yeah,
they have to say because he goes, my guardian, and it's like.
Translation
for newcomers: Bruce Batman Wayne.
Yeah,
I like Bruce Batman Wayne. Like he's
abso-fucking-lutely, like that's his legal name.
Like he's a wrestler.
That's his government name.
Bruce Batman Wayne.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. So, but nobody knows that Bruce is Batman. They just know that he's like Dick's.
He's his guardian.
Yeah. No, Dick is his ward or whatever the fuck. I don't even know.
But he's technically.
I know, but I don't actually know what the difference is between like ward and like foster kid or whatever. I don't know how any of that works. Anyways,
I don't know if ward. Can you still be a ward?
No,
today?
I think it's only for rich people.
Is what?
I think it's for rich people.
Oh, okay.
I think you can be a ward of the state.
Right. Yeah, I know that.
But other than that, you're like just a foster kid.
Yeah, that's a fancy name for foster kid.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, but literally, like, he didn't go through the foster system. He's like, Bruce basically just saw his parents get killed. He's like, you know what? You're going to live with me now. And he's like, well, what if I don't want to?
Yeah, he's like, too bad.
Too bad. I'm rich.
You live with me now. I have money.
So Dick comes in and he's like, he tells us like this lame joke about a fly in somebody's soup. And he starts like.
His face is. There are some really upsetting faces in this book.
Yeah,
Dick's face here is awful.
Because he starts
it's horrifying.
He starts like, like. Cackling, and his face kind of looks like
it's melting.
Yeah,
it's really upsetting. But that's okay because the worst face is yet to come, because he's like, oh, by the way, I've been hanging out with the Joker's daughter, and here she is. This woman looks like her jaw has been broken.
That's what
it's just hanging.
That's the thing I wrote down. It's like, what's wrong with her jaw? Like, why can't it? Like,
why does she
does
look
close
like
it.
This?
Yeah, she closes at one point. Like there's maybe a few panels that she closes, but most of the time she's just kind of like
Yeah.
And it's not like a thing where
it's been dislocated. Like get this woman
or it's like a thing
hospital.
where like Roger Ebert kind of you had that going.
Yeah, but
because he didn't have a jaw because he had cancer.
Yeah, that it doesn't look like that. This looks like she's been dislocated and just like something's going on. Something's wrong. And she needs to get to a hospital.
Yeah, they should be like, oh my God, get that woman.
Yeah, oh my God, get that woman some medical attention.
Let's wrap that woman's head.
Seriously.
Because her jaw is broken.
It's very upset. It's really narrow too, which is so strange. It's just it's just the way her character design is not good.
No.
Let's just go with that. It's not good.
Yeah, so she shows up and she's like, you know what? I want to be a part of the Titans.
So I don't know anything about the Joker's daughter.
Well, it's not Joker's daughter.
I know that because she's Harvey Dent's daughter, but why? So she's Dwayla Dent, who's Harvey Dent's daughter, but why does she call herself the Joker's daughter?
I don't know. It doesn't really.
Okay. I don't know anything about her. I don't know if that's ever, if that ever gets explained, but I don't get why she would be called the Joker's daughter if she's Two-Face's daughter.
I don't know. Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me either. But anyway, okay.
All I know is that she needs medical attention.
Yeah, poor lady.
But
she's got some tooth thing going on.
She got but as this is happening, Mal and Speedy show up and they're like,
they're very disheveled, by the way.
Disheveled is like, I've been beaten or whatever, They're
like, get us out of these costumes.
It reminds me of that time they come in. He was like, I've been beaten up. It reminds me of this time I was in the tea in Boston.
Okay. Oh God. Okay.
I think it was
oh, this can't be good. Yes.
downtown. No, not downtown. What's the one?
Is it Downtown Crossing? Because that's a fucking.
No, it was an
nightmare.
Orange Line, but it's over by Emerson. I forgot which street that is, but
Oh, I don't know.
yeah,
I didn't really take the Orange Line very much, so I'm not familiar with it.
yeah. But this dude's down there, and he's just like a gnarly looking 80s dude, and he's just looking all bruised and everything. And I think he like just hops over the guardrail, and they're like, hey, you know, you need to pay or whatever. And he's like, hey, I can't. I was beaten up, you know, and he's just stumbling and like,
Oh God.
and I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, like this is I mean, this is on par for Boston.
Yeah.
You know, but I always remember that. Just this dude be like, I was beaten up. You know. And,
Yeah.
And he's just all disheveled. That's kind of what's going on here.
Yeah.
And immediately Speedy takes his shirt off.
Yeah, he's like, hey ladies.
He's like, you know what? I need a massage.
But also, they're like, they sit there for, I don't know, several panels before Speedy's finally like, wait a second, who are you? Joker's daughter.
How do you not notice that atrocity going on?
She's wearing a bright purple suit.
Right.
Like,
and her jaw's dislocated.
Also, there's only like 4 other people in the room. Like, how did you not notice she was here?
I would notice that'd be the first thing I would notice.
I was like, what's happening? But he's just like, starts talking about like the Fiddler or whatever.
Well, before that, they just like they come in and they're like, "Hey, we've been beating the fuck up," and they're like, "Ha ha, what'd you get trapped? What'd you get beat up by groupies or something?" You know, I mean, they're not just making fun of them. It's like, dude, fuck you. It's like, look at me, I got a concussion. You know?
Yeah, and so then is this where like they get word that the Flyers have been kidnapped?
Well, yeah, because actually we get a report on the TV. From
that's right, a report.
Jack Ryder.
Oh,
my boy. Jack Ryder, aka the Creeper.
Oh shit.
Jack the Creeper Ryder. Just for those of you newcomers out there.
Wrestling fans.
He
oh my God, that's Jack Ryder's music.
Oh God, it's Jack Ryder at 7. Call your mama. You tell him you're watching Jack Ryder.
Oh my God, what if that would actually be really funny. What if someone's entrance music was just like that old like intro music to a news channel?
That'd be kind of like our theme song.
Would be really fucking funny, actually. And then you just like, your gimmick is that you're like a news person.
You come out and you do the news and then you beat the guy up.
Yeah.
Or you whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Breaking news. I've kicked.
You finish her as the news break.
Yeah. Breaking news. I've kicked Batista's ass. And then you like kick Batista's ass.
Actually, that'd be a great stupid gimmick, and it's a shame that they don't do it. Like the after he finishes the thing, like he puts on like a suit coat,
yeah,
and then a sports coat, and then like it could be a guy or a girl.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
But whoever they put on a suit coat or like a sports coat,
yeah.
And then they go in front of the camera and just put their hand in the ear. It's like breaking news. Yeah. I'm just getting in here. I won the match.
That's right. Me, the newscaster, whatever the fuck your name is.
I won with...
Jack Ryder, have just beaten whoever you've just wrestled, and I beat them with whatever the name of your move is.
Yeah.
And yeah. That's actually amazing. Why isn't that a thing?
They tried to do that a little bit with the Hurricane. Because the Hurricane would come out and be like, I'm Gregory Helms, secret reporter, you know, because he would be in a secret ego or whatever, and he would report on, talk to people. Whatever, but nothing like, you know, going up to the camera and just doing like a news report.
I would, you know what?
You don't even need to be a news reporter. You just do that for the fuck of it.
That'd be so funny.
They'd be like, so they're just looking at the camera.
Because it would be one of those things that I hated but loved at the exact same time.
No, that would be, I would pop. I think that would be that's a genius gimmick.
It's pretty great.
I need to pitch that.
Yep, pitch that to somebody.
Pitch it to somebody. Hey.
Somebody listen to me.
Hey.
So Jack Ryder comes on and he's like, oh no.
Oh no, the McCarthy's been captured.
They've been kidnapped. So Robin and Joker's daughter and somebody else.
Well, they split. Well,
that's what I mean. It's another one of them.
Well, here's the thing. So they'd split up, but before they do that, I wrote down. And this is where like they keep calling her Duela, and she's like, no, I'm the Joker's daughter. But you're not. I'm so confused. I don't want to explain it. It doesn't make any sense because Two-Face is my daughter, and I only have one face.
Maybe that's why she's the Joker's daughter, because she doesn't have enough faces.
She doesn't have face. She needs more face.
She's like, all I have is this broken jaw, so I've got to go with my
I
strength.
have a face, but it's not really working right now.
My mouth is stuck this way, so I went with Joker's daughter.
So
And I only have one face. I hate the number 2.
they say something where I don't know if this is an inside joke or something. Titans, we've got our work cut out for us. Find the missing musicians and stop the Fiddler, or Speedy's Great Frog will be the stars of tonight's concert.
Great frog.
Yeah, I'm like, does Speedy have like a?
Is that some sort of 70s slang that I don't get?
Yeah. Is that like a drug thing?
Maybe.
Because Speedy ends up doing drugs, or he did drugs, or actually around this time is when he kind of was getting into the smack.
Maybe they're saying he can't sing.
Maxwell's Silver Hammer, is that their slang for that?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is slang that like never caught on. So there's no memory, cultural significance to it.
Or
whatsoever
maybe he has a
for us.
singing frog. Maybe it's like the WB frog.
You don't know what this is like. You know what this is?
Hmm.
So I was just watching Dracula before we recorded this. And there was a younger queen.
Uh-huh.
And Dracmorda, who's one of the judges, made a MySpace joke. And she goes, "Oh, is he in your top 8?" Like it was because it was like giving us early one of these other queens, like early whatever, from the MySpace era. When that was popular. And Drac goes, "Oh yeah, is he in your top 8?" And this queen was just like, "What?" Like, did not understand. It's like, never mind. Okay. You did good job. Anyway, moving on. And I was like, oh my God, it was a fucking MySpace joke. And this kid had no fucking ability because he had no clue what it was. So I'm assuming it's something like that.
Yeah. So he's like, hey.
Somebody would understand that reference. And then we're just like, what?
Speedy, you got any pogs? Whatever.
Speedy's back in pog form. Yeah, like that.
Fuck everything.
Yeah.
Fuck
I really, really hate the passage of time. It's just a fucking nightmare.
I'm not a fan.
It's a nightmare, and it should not be allowed. I'm just saying.
Right. So they split up, and Speedy, Donna, Wally, and Mal go to the Coliseum, I guess, they go to the Coliseum, and this is where like Fiddler's like entranced like all these people. But then, like, he's also, like, unleashed a bunch of rats and bees on them.
Yeah, he's doing, like, a reverse Pied Piper. So instead of, like, driving out the snakes, he's, like, bringing all the weird shit to him.
Yeah.
So, like, bees show up and ants show up and, like, so everybody has to kind of fight against them.
Well, this is where we see the Angel of Death or whatever.
That's
show
what
up.
it is the Angel of Death, and telling Mal that he has to like win the fight.
We say this in times of battle, blow this horn, and this will make you equal of your opponent.
Yes, but if you lose, you die.
Yeah,
and so this is literally where we get the fucking.
This is horrifying.
The devil goes down to Georgia fight because he's.
No. Before we get there.
Oh, okay.
We have a thing where like Flash is like, what I'm gonna do, in order to like get all these vermin, all these rats out of the way, I'm going to create a vortex.
Oh, that's right. It's so
and
gross.
A super speed backwash.
Ew.
And I'm going to create all this backwash and
backwash. Come on, man.
And Speedy's going to shoot an arrow with a net on it, and I'm
Do
going
you have to call it backwash?
Yeah, I don't know.
You couldn't have just called it a drain.
So you could have called it a vortex. You could have literally
a
called it
tornado.
anything. Yeah, a tornado,
Yeah.
a current.
A current would have been great.
It's like backwash implies that you're
it's
chewing
gross.
these you're sucking these rats up and spitting them back out.
Mm-hmm.
It's gross. So, but he gets all these he captures all these rats, but then a bunch of bees attack.
Bees.
Yeah, basically he's about to get Nick Caged, and a bunch of bees.
Actually, that would be amazing. I really wish that would happen in this book.
They're my eyes. Ah!
Oh, they're my eyes.
Yeah, that'd be a great way if that's how Speedy died.
Oh yeah, that's way better than heroin.
Speedy died by many stings instead of just one big sting.
He basically got my girled.
And they'd be like, "We don't get that reference."
Well, they don't now because that movie doesn't exist yet in the timeline of this book, anyway.
So, bees are about to attack him, and Donna shows up, and she's like, "I'm going to use my wrists to knock away these bees," which,
Okay.
sure. I mean,
Yeah.
not like the bees can't go anywhere else
No.
around your body and sting you. But
really
but
not
as that's
nice.
happening, he's trying. Speedy's like, "All right, I'm going to hit the Fiddler," but then a bunch of ants show up.
Yeah.
Bunch of ants.
Yes, that's right.
Fucking everything. What's next? Spiders?
Spiders would make much more sense than ants, but okay.
I would love a bunch of scorpions.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You know, let's get some new ones. Let's get some,
Let's get some actually terrifying. I mean, ants are terrifying, but like, he just says ants. So I'm like, is
death's
it
head moths. Let's
we're
get some of
talking
those
like
in there.
like sugar ants, or are they just like
Fire ants.
But they don't say fire ants. They just say ants.
Ants. It's like that movie Ants.
Yeah.
No, but not the cartoon.
Wasn't there a movie also called Them that was about giant ants?
There was a movie called Them in the 50s called about ants, but there's
My dad-
also a movie.
My dad speaks highly of that movie.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
And there's also a movie in the 70s called Ants. It's also called something else, but it's just called Ants. And the cover of the video was a woman, like an actual woman, with a bunch of ants in her cleavage.
Ew.
Because I've seen the movie,
Are there-
and there's a thing where they're
she
in
got
bed,
she got titty ants.
and then there's a scene in the movie where like a bunch of 70s people are having a thing in a bed, and then a bunch of ants show up, and they're like, "Oh shit, there's ants on my tits."
Man, people used to really fuck more back in the day.
Ants be damned.
Ants be damned, those people be fucking.
Yeah. Yeah, no, look it up. Look it up. 1977 Ants. Not the cute cartoons movie.
Nope.
With a Z. We're talking.
Oh, no.
I'm talking pure. Talking that hard S. talking to tit ants.
In the titties.
Yeah. But yeah, and so stupid Speedy shoots Donna with his looks like a beanbag arrow.
Yeah. She's fine.
She's fine. But then and then the bees attack Wally. So like Mal's like, well, I guess it's up to me and my stupid horn.
Yeah, and this
And
is
then this is your deal.
yeah, and this all I can I just keep thinking, I'm just like, all I can think is the devil went down to Georgia. It's just like, Johnny, you're rosin up your bow and play your fiddle hard. Like that's just literally what's happening in this right here.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me not to sing the entirety of Devil Went Down to Georgia because I know I could do it. And that's very upsetting.
Charlie's, Daniel, Stan, Jen. Well, not really for that. You're just
No.
that song.
Not that, you know what? Here's the problem though. Off that Greatest Hits album, because my dad had it on tape. That's right, tape. Played it in the car. I know a lot of those songs. Like Still in Saigon, good song. Stroker Ace, yeah, that's a good one too. There's a lot of really good songs on that album. Unfortunately, Charlie Daniels is a crazy person. So, you know.
That's yeah. So, but yeah, he does. So Mal does his thing here with his horn, and somehow outtoots the fiddler.
Yes, I'm not sure exactly how this happens. Again, it's how did the devil lose? He shouldn't have.
And then the fiddler's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna drive my car away."
His car is pretty great. So he drives his car away, and then we cut back to Robin.
We're Robin, Aqualad, and Joker's daughter are, and they're like,
Trying to figure out where the flyers went, and they're like, well, wait, here's the flyers' clothes, like underneath this blanket. I'm assuming they're just naked somewhere because this is the 70s.
they're just bared out hair. Just,
This was just a key party, people, and like they're just in the next room.
they're coming in and be like, "Oh man, it's a bunch of fuck fumes coming in here."
I'm assuming the 70s was all brown because you had to cover the stains. Like
That's why all the colors are brown and orange.
you got to cover those stains,
You gotta
man.
make
Because
sure you don't
everybody was fucking in the 70s.
Just juice.
Just so gross.
Just
real
party
gross.
juice.
It's disgusting. So they're like, well, wait, there's also footprints outside this window. I'm gonna recreate this by carrying the Joker's daughter out of the window.
Well, this is where he has Aqualad do it, and Aqualad decides to make us fat joke at her expense. Did you catch that?
Yeah, because again, it's the 70s.
In the 70s, it was like women be heavy.
Yeah. So, but Robin's like, but as you can see, the footprints aren't deep enough to signify somebody being carried. Only looks deep enough for like one person walking away or whatever. So.
Were they walking in a fucking swamp or something? Because I mean,
I mean, if it's just regular ground, I don't know, whatever. It's Florida. Maybe it's a sinkhole.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they don't really say.
They should all sink in
But
there
then
and
they
lose their life.
just kind of vanish.
Well, what happens is, so they're talking, and then Duella and Robin and Garth or whatever, they disappear, and it's because Mal used his horn to summon them, and Robin's just like. Robin's like, what the fuck? Like, literally, he's just like, it's like, Mal, this better be important, you motherfucker. I'm gonna kick your ass. And then Speedy's like, fuck you, Robin. Sometimes your shit ain't sometimes your shit ain't the most important shit out there.
Yep.
And he's like, and then for some reason he's like, it must have not been that serious, because he points over to Aqualad and Joker's daughter, and they're kind of like canoodling.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening over here. Maybe he's just trying to fix her jaw.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe he's like, oh,
maybe he's like, I'm using sea medicine on you.
I got some secret seaweed here. I keep it in my pockets.
I got the good weed.
I got the good. Yo, I got that weed from the ocean. That shit'll get you high and make you feel like you're drowning, which
also fix your jaw.
Also fix your jaw. It does a lot of things.
Hey, yeah. The benefits of seaweed.
Yeah. So whatever. Flash is like, all right, y'all shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. Fiddler is captured. The woodworkers now. So now we need to go deal with that.
Yes.
And they're on top of the roof of the Coliseum.
Which, if it's the Coliseum, are we talking like the LA Coliseum?
I think they're in Long Island, maybe?
Sure.
I don't know.
I'm assuming there are many Coliseums.
The Roman Coliseum.
Yeah, sure. Why not? There's no specific place. So they like go up on the roof.
Well, they go up on the roof, but there's actually to get this thing here. So Donna has a rope.
Oh yeah.
Dick has his batarang or whatever. Mm-hmm. Speedy has his arrow thing.
Yeah.
So the rest of them need to get up there. So Flash has to use his backwash to bring them back up there, and you just see them all kind of caught in this current.
Oh, that's right. He lassos them with his speed
spit.
Ew.
And what you call it? And it's just the way that it's drawn is like, looks like Aqualad's doing the C in the YMCA for some reason.
Yeah, he absolutely is.
It looks like they're doing YMCA here. But the way it also looks like too, it looks like if you didn't notice that, I didn't notice Flash. But it looked like he was kind of hucking Joker's daughter up there.
Her.
He's like, I'm just gonna throw her up there until I can get her high enough.
Yeah, she'll get up there somehow.
So, yeah, they get to the top, and then the Fiddler's like, oh, I'm gonna play my thing. You guys are all dancing. They're all dancing, and then they do a do-si-do, and this is where Mal and Joker's daughter get flung off the building.
Oh yeah,
because they're
useless.
Because they it's like, let's take the most useless characters here.
Yeah, put them on a team.
Put them on a team, and then
and if you put Superman here, it's the Eternals.
Yeah. And but they get saved, and this is where Fiddler summons a fiddlecopter.
Oh, that's the fiddlecopter is kind of amazing.
Which is essentially it's
a flying violin.
It's a violin with a bunch of blades on it.
Neat.
How that is possible, again, aerodynamically.
Oh, it's not.
It's not, but it is.
Oh, no. But we didn't care about aerodynamics back then. All we cared about was that people had a gimmick and all of their stuff matched their gimmick.
Right. And so Donna and Speedy are fighting that. And then this is where, Duella is like, all right, well, I'm going to get in on this. And so she starts. She has
like a lipstick that shoots lip prints.
She's shooting mouths at him.
It shoots lip prints.
Like, and I'm like, what those mouths do?
That's a really good question, because she's just like shooting and they just kind of stick to him.
Yeah, she shoots she shoots mouths, and then she also has like high velocity powder puffs.
Because she's a girl.
Because she's a girl, but she's also the Joker. So it's like, haha, it's a joke. Look at my makeup, you know.
I guess.
My makeup is funny too.
But I don't understand what it does.
I don't know. It distracts him long enough so that she can shoot off her hand.
Yeah, her fake hand? Is that like a joy buzzer hand?
She has a fake hand that grabs the thing out of there. And then she does a karate chop to his funny bone, to the Fiddler's funny bone. I just wrote down MMA.
Good job, babe.
Because I want to see that in MMA. I want to see somebody like do that, and then fucking Joe Rogan be like, "Oh my god!"
Takes a shot of horse dewormer or whatever.
Yeah, that's all he does during the show. He's just like, "Horse, ah! Horse." Joe, what do you think of this guillotine? Horse.
Well, you got to take a shot of it, I guess.
Horse.
Is that the proper dosage for it? What's it called? Imvectrin or Imverectin or whatever it's called?
What?
Is the proper dosage a shot glass full?
Oh, I was expecting like a syringe, but it's enough in the syringe so you can go horse and you shoot it in your neck.
You have to shoot it up? I thought you drank it, but okay.
You drink it? I didn't know you drink it.
I fucking no idea.
You
what
making horse cocktails? You putting that in there with some some Mai Tai juice or whatever?
Yes. You put horse.
It's horse.
It's like sangria, just with horse.
Oh, okay. Can I get a horse gria?
Can I get a horse gria? Yes, please.
No, if we had a bar, I'd probably put that on there and be like, horse gria. It's not what you think.
And I certainly hope it would not be what you think.
It's like, what is this? It's like, it's a joke. It's like, this is a terrible bar.
We'd be out of business in a day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no one would ever come to our bar.
No, they shouldn't.
No, nobody should ever come to a bar that we own. That's a horrible idea.
So they capture the dude, the Fiddler, and then they go to the bottom, and they're like, they got the woodworkers, and the woodworkers, they're like, oh man, you know, it's great that you captured us, but there's no way you're gonna be able to find those other people. Ha ha ha. The flyers or whatever.
Oh, that's right. Like, I wonder where they went. And then they bring him into an office where the flyers are there.
Right. Dick opens the door and
That's
the
right.
flyers are there, and they're like playing music.
Yeah.
But then they lift off their masks.
Well, because the woodworkers are like, wait, what? And then that's when they lift off their masks, and it's like Speedy and
Duela.
And they're like, we know that you are the same people. Like, for some reason, you have two gigs.
For some reason, good gigs. It's not really explained. It's kind of like,
I mean, you're kind of trying to hit both markets. You want that like super conservative Christian money, but you also want hippie money.
right.
But at the same time, I'm like, it just feels like so much work.
Well, it is, and it's also just the idea of there being, somehow these two scam artists.
I don't even know if they're scam artists. I'm just like,
Well, they basically took like two separate identities apiece.
yeah, but I'm kind of just like, I don't understand. I mean, sure. For the comic book reasons, sure, we kind of get it that they're like, oh, we want to be both people, whatever. But like, I just think about Sia, right? Like, Sia has her own career and she has her own music. She has also written a fucking ass ton of hits.
Well, so have a lot of people.
But that's what I mean for other artists, because maybe they write a song and it's not right for them, and that's when it goes out to somebody else. Like, she's written songs for Rihanna, she's written songs for Beyonce, like, because it's not right for her, but it's right for somebody else. So I'm like, so why aren't they just doing that?
Well, you know what this is? This is a Chris Gaines situation going on here.
Oh my God. It is. Except Chris Gaines didn't try to pretend like everybody knew he was Garth Brooks.
Right.
And nobody knew that the woodworkers were the flyers.
Right. And I think that's pretty shady, because that's somehow you're using. I mean, are you using two separate sets of like social security numbers to get paid by the record companies?
This is a very good question.
Because I mean, they're both equally popular.
Right.
You know, the way that's portrayed here, but they're trying to scam this out, and it gets Robin ruins it for everybody.
Yeah, well, Robin does that a lot. Let's be honest.
Yeah, well,
Robin ruins everything.
yeah, they should have Donna chop him here.
Yeah,
Good
do
idea.
it. Do it.
But they can't get out of it, so they end up performing this concert. They perform first as the hippies, and then they do the Carpenter shit, and then at the end one of them comes out dressed as it's the Paul McCartney and the Karen Carpenter or whatever come out, and then they awkwardly do this on stage.
Yeah, this is so strange. This is so weird that they had to even like finish the book this way.
Yeah, they do this at a stage where they have to like awkwardly change into these different costumes.
Yes.
And then turn around and be like, aha, now I am this person.
It's us. We're coming out.
Yeah, we're different people.
We're the same people. And everybody's like, oh my God, it's the same people.
Give me I'll give you my money.
Yay.
So that's how that. Oh yeah, and then the last thing happens. The Titans are looking in the newspaper, and they are looking for the case or whatever, and then they see an ad for a nightclub that's on sale.
Oh, that's right.
And they're like, it would be pretty sweet is if we made that into our headquarters and we had Speedy and Mal run it. And I'm like,
great idea, I guess.
And it's like, cool. So Bruce Wayne's got to buy a nightclub. Like,
I mean, why not?
Call it.
Bruce Wayne is a party boy. He's got to have somewhere to, lay it down, I guess.
Yeah, he's got to go there somewhere to do It's got to do that yayo.
That what?
You never heard cocaine called that?
No.
Yayo.
No. I've never heard cocaine called yayo.
There's that one rapper in G Unit called Tony Yayo.
I've never had any idea. No, I've learned something today. Actually, I think personally, what would tip me off to Bruce Wayne not being who he is the fact that he's never gotten busted on camera doing cocaine.
Yeah, right.
And you would assume someone with that reputation should be on cocaine all the time.
Well, somebody that also needs to have his sort of energy.
Just like in general, you think Batman should be up on coke?
Just be on coke, just a coke-fueled rage. It's like, just coke, just what's his face out there with his coke jaw? Maybe that's what's going on with Dwayla's hand. Maybe she's got coke jaw.
Oh, she might have coke. Maybe that's what happens when you have too much coke jaw.
She had too much coke. She coked out her jaw.
I'm surprised Bruce Wayne is not Stevie Nicks in the Behind the Music, where she was just talking about doing cocaine constantly.
I feel like also
to the point where like her nose, like the interior wall of her nose, like was gonna collapse or some bullshit.
Yeah, she's gonna end up like what's his face, like Artie Lang.
Oh yeah, that happened to Artie Lang. It
Artie Lang
absolutely did.
I also feel like somehow Bruce Wayne would also Chuck Negron himself.
Who's Chuck Negron?
The singer from Free Dog Night.
What happened to that guy?
His penis exploded because he fucked so hard.
I do not want to believe that is true. You're right, because didn't he like basically like rub a layer of skin off or something?
He rubbed his the entire penis off.
Why? Because it was the 70s.
Because of 70s, yeah, that's right.
Because he fucked so hard he broke his own dick.
He didn't break it. He just short off meat layers or whatever. I don't know.
It's like a rug burn.
Yeah, really bad rug burn.
That's horrific.
Yeah, that's happened to Bruce Wayne.
I also do not believe that is true.
I can see that happen to Bruce. I can see that happen to Bruce.
How dry was the vagina he was fucking that was what was going on, dude? Get some lube.
Yeah. Again, I mean, you'd think it would be the 70s and everything was moist.
I mean, it's 70s.
Moist and hairy, just go at it.
People were just, people were just living better. The 70s were really ugly. Let's be honest. But at the same time, people fucked more.
That's right.
I think that's what we can say about the 70s today.
Yeah. So but that's how this ends with Batman buying a club, presumably.
Batman buys a club.
Batman buys a club. Actually, that'd be great. Actually, I would really enjoy it if the next issue was just Batman buying a club and like having to deal with the liquor license and like,
oh yeah,
and then trying to pick out the right kind of tables.
Oh, Bruce Wayne has people who do that.
Yeah,
for him.
But if I figured he would have some sort of hand in it, come by, it'd be like, that's we need a spot for Superman to sit.
Yeah.
So make that into an S. That'd be kind of cool. Anyways, that's the Teen Titans, number 46 from February 1977. I don't know. You want to read the next issue of this? You don't have to read it.
You know what? I'm not. Here's the thing: this is in that sweet spot of man, this is fucking stupid. Which that Bronze Agey thing for me, which I kind of love these dumb things. I really feel like we're pandering to the youth.
Yeah.
In this one, so that kind of turns me off of it a little bit.
Teen Titans bore me though.
Yeah, I'm also not a huge Teen Titans person. I mean, I guess I would have to see what was going on in the next one. Is Batman actually buying that nightclub?
Well,
if the answer is yes,
let's see. Do we have a thing?
I'd probably read it.
Because we do have a letters page, but there's no letters on it. It's just like talking about bullshit.
It's like you could write to us.
Yeah, it's like tell it to the Titans. That's the titles page. Next issue, your letters will appear here if you wrote. Oh, that doesn't fucking tell me anything. It's bullshit.
Yeah,
it's bullshit.
Yeah. So again, if Batman actually buys a nightclub in the next issue, and he does it in costume, I would totally read that book.
Yes, I'd like to buy Studio 54.
Yeah. How come was Batman ever drawn at Studio 54? Was Bruce Wayne ever drawn at Studio 54? Because you would assume.
Well, they would make a change. It'd be like Studio 53 or something.
Right, 57 or something. But you would assume that if anybody's getting in, it's Bruce Wayne.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
But that's it for this week's show. Thank you for listening. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Angry Hero Sean.
I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram. You can find the show on Facebook, Worst Collection Ever, and email the show, worstcollectionever@gmail.com.
And please rate and review the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, I'm blanking on my places, Spotify, Pandora. You can find us on Pandora. Apparently, folks of you out there will listen to us on Pandora.
Neat.
So if you find us on Pandora, give us whatever it is you get. Don't you like a plus or a thumbs up or whatever?
I don't actually know. Good question.
So give us some love there if you can, and rate and review, all that good stuff. Tell your friends, and also find me on not Instagram, YouTube, at Angry Hero 79, where I open up action figures. I got some stuff I'm working on there, so hopefully that'll pop up sooner than later. So, anyways, folks, thanks for listening. Talk to you again next time.
Bye.